you know who's out. You typically got a chance to make the playoffs. You typically got a chance to go deep into the playoffs, or teams that start 3-0. Usually around it, like 2-0 is one thing. Start getting 3-0, that starts to really put you in a good position, gives you a nice head start. Who is the most impressive 3-0 team? We got 6 teams so far that are 3-0. We'll have a 7th after the game tonight, barring a tie. Who is your most impressive 3-0 team to this point?
I would say the most unlikely 3-0 team is Buffalo. We'll get to them. Buffalo and the Bears, right?
I know your answer ain't the Bears. I know your answer is not the Bears is your most impressive 3-0. Even though they do have some incredible comebacks. So, I mean, I guess that's
you can make an argument.
Right, I guess. Yeah.
I can make an argument for my Bears.
They're regressing to the mean. I know that much very quickly.
You missed that. I said
your Bears,
my Bears.
I heard you. That's your team? Like the Jaguars on my squad? How
long was I there? I was there for a couple months.
You didn't even have a cup of coffee. You had an espresso. You had a shot.
That's right.
A whole cup of coffee.
Not even done. Chicago, though. Great city, Chicago. But I'm going to say the most impressive team, 3-0, is Seattle because they can't be stopped. On one hand, their defense, you should be concerned because they haven't given up fewer than 30 yet, 3 games in. But nobody can stop them. Like Russell Wilson is on something else. And so you go in there saying, we can't let Russell do this, we can't let Russell do that, and he does it anyway. I think that's the most impressive 3-0 team. How about you?
Green Bay. And not just because they won at New Orleans or what passes for at New Orleans, to your point earlier. Green Bay is scary, man, because as unstoppable as Seattle's been, Green Bay scored more. Now, if you want to talk about quality opponents, I think Dallas is decent. Because Dallas could have come into that game yesterday 2-0. So Seattle now has wins over New England and Dallas in consecutive weeks. Something to be said.
And who else?
I'll get to them in a second. The team that shall not be named. I'll get to them in a second. We'll get to them.
We got to talk about them. I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, and I know Green Bay. They beat your Bears. No, not your Bears. No, I'm sorry. They beat the Lions and the Vikings. Sorry, they didn't play the Bears yet. Lions and the Vikings. But last night, I think you saw it, without Devontae Adams. Listen, man, Aaron Rodgers has never looked uncomfortable in his entire career. But there was always a part of us that wondered, and I like Mike McCarthy, but always a part of us, and especially Packers fans, that wondered, like, man, could they get out of the Stone Age with this offense? Like, could they be more creative on offense? Could they put Aaron in better positions in terms of his play calling? Aaron Rodgers is going out of his way to shout out Matt LaFleur. Bro, look at these dudes he was throwing to last night.
Yeah.
Look at these cats he's throwing to last night. Alan Lazard, Robert Tonyan, their first-round pick is on the bench taking notes, sitting behind him for the indefinite future. Aaron Rodgers is more comfortable in this offense than he was last year, where they went 13-3, and a lot of people didn't think they were as good as their record, suggested last year. Now he's more comfortable. That should make the entire league uncomfortable, the idea of Aaron Rodgers being even better. So it's like, yeah, we're giving MVP to Russell Wilson, and rightfully so. We got 14 touchdowns in 3 games for crying out loud. He throws 5 touchdowns a week. It's incredible. We're giving MVP to Russell Wilson, but remember, I keep telling you, and you tried to leave him out. It's like best quarterbacks in the league. It's Wilson, Mahomes. I'm like, and Aaron Rodgers. I hope you stayed up late. I know you're old. I know it's past your bedtime. I hope you stayed up late to watch that man act a fool last night, because he still got it, and he still may have some of his best days and games ahead of him, given how scary stacked this offense is. No Devontae Adams last night, and cook the Saints.
I like your little shots today. That's good. That's good. I got it. I got the shot. That's I stayed up late. You probably were in bed at 10. You probably didn't. That's a funny thing.
I struggle.
I know you do. But, Aaron Rodgers, this is interesting if you compare Seattle and Green Bay. And the reason I say Seattle, I'll give Seattle the edge. It's almost like, Russell Wilson had to just wait a couple of years for Pete Carroll to say, all right, I'm going to give the offense to
let him cook?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm going to give it to you, because we had to hear about the Legion of Boom for a while. Then we had to hear about the running game. Eventually, they figured out, hey, our quarterback is pretty good too. And same kind of like the same story with the receivers in the early days. Now, you get a lot of respect to the receivers that Russell has, but back in the day, you look at him 3-4 years ago, and you look at his receiving core and say, okay, that's not that great. They eventually trusted him. So now they got, 8 years together between Russell and Carroll? 8 years of work. And I think the only advantage I'll give Wilson over Rodgers is that 8 years of trust with his head coach. Because maybe what Matt LaFleur is going to figure out.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll ain't calling the plays, though. That's the only thing I would beg to differ on. Pete Carroll, the simpatico is not as essential between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll as it is between Aaron Rodgers and Matt.
But at least, you've been around the head coach. You've been around him for 8 years. You just kind of know what you can and can't do. But I would say with LaFleur, and he may know that now, and if he doesn't know it now, he'll find it out pretty soon. The great thing about Aaron Rodgers is you install a shell of an offense. I think that's the best way to do it with him. Hey, here's generally what we're trying to do. He seems to me to be a good improviser. He'd be a good freestyler. That's what he does. So give him the shell of an offense, and then don't trip when it kind of breaks down and he does something else. And that was the problem with McCarthy and Rodgers in the end, the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe they've been together too long, but Aaron Rodgers kind of lost some faith in McCarthy, and McCarthy was probably aghast that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't run his plays, and so they kind of butted heads. That's the only advantage Russell Wilson has right now. But who knows? That might not even be the case November 1st, Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.